Hello, universe. Today I'm breaking down an extremely powerful tool within Fusion for motion graphic artists and anybody looking to have user control over their animations. So I have a slider here that not only changes the total length of this bar, but it will also change the total length of the animation. So if I go from beginning to end, it animates to the total length of the slider. And if I change the length of this slider so that it's bigger, we will now animate to this new length. This is going to be a bit more of an advanced tutorial, so if you're newer to Fusion, buckle in. Alrighty, so I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet, but this video is going to be broken into 3 parts. This first section, I'm going to quickly go over how I set up this composition in case you're curious. Then I'll go into setting up the control itself, and the last bit will be the magic. If you just need the last section, go ahead and jump forward. But with that said, what I have set up right here is 2 rectangles using the shape system, and the little trick that I have for them is if I grab and move either of these rectangles, the polygon on this left branch moves with it. So you'll notice that again, if I grab either of these rectangles, the polygon expands with it as well. Now the composition itself really isn't overly complicated, but if you wanted to emulate something like this, unfortunately, I couldn't figure out a way to do this with the S polygon node, but what you would want to do is you would add in a polygon node, drag and draw your 2 points, go up to this left corner over here where you have the modify with arrow, drag and select these 2 points, right click, go to polygon 2, polyline, or polygon 1 it might be for you, and then publish, and then publish points. What that's going to do is it'll publish the points that you've created. From here, you have complete control over the points and where they're laid out. And so what I did is on both of these points, I right clicked, went modify with, and then XY path. This XY path modifier will split up your points into X, Y, Z, and it gives you a bunch of other controls, but really you just want the X and Y coordinates. So if I were to delete this node and go back to the original polygon node, go over to the modifiers, you can see I've got my 2 points split up, and then I've added an expression here that connects it to the X offset of each of the rectangle nodes. So again, if I click on this polygon node, go to the modifiers, doesn't matter what point I'm working with, but in this expression here, what I've done, and I can redo this real quick for you guys. Let me copy this property real quick. I can right click, hit remove expression. And what I can do now is I can either right click on this property, hit expression, or go over to this entry field, type in the equal sign to give us the ability to add an expression. And the way this one was set up is the center point is 0.5, and then we would add in the offset from our rectangle. And I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into expressions in just a sec. But this is the basic setup of this composition. Now let's move into some of the fun stuff. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up a control to vary the length of this line, and then we're going to be able to animate across the total length of the line. Let me show you what I mean. Now you can set up your control on really any one of these nodes if you wanted to, but what a lot of times people will do in Fusion is they will add in an alpha divide node. And the reason why we use this node is because it's kind of a blank template. You have your basic settings that you get attached with any node, but besides that, it's all blank. All we're going to do with this node, we're not connecting it to anything, we're not doing none of that. We're going to use it as our control panel. With this node selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and right click on this top bar up here and go to edit controls. Okay, now this is going to pull up your controls menu. And if you've never used this menu before, it's going to seem a bit intimidating, but all this does in essence is it gives you access to any of the controls that are associated with that node, and it allows you to add your own controls. I feel like I've used the word control about 10 times right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own custom control again. And you can name this whatever you want. Because mine's going to be related with the X position, I'm going to name mine X slider. It's going to be a number control, and we're going to have it go on the user page. It's not there yet, but it's going to be generated here soon. We can leave these all default for now, but we do want it to be a slider control. And you know what? Actually, I think well, we'll leave it as is. If we need to come back and change it, I was just going to say we could increase the range if we wanted to, but For right now, it's fine. And we just hit OK. Once you hit OK, what that's going to do is it's going to generate this new user tab where we have our control here. And if I were to grab and change this slider, it's not going to change anything on our animation, for one, because it's not connected to our node tree, but two, none of our properties over here are associated with this slider. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that. So I'm going to go to my right rectangle here, and I am going to make this an expression. So I'm going to go to our right rectangle, which is this node for me, and I'm going to change the X offset to an expression. You can right click and hit expression, or you can just go into the entry field and hit equals, hit enter. And now what I can do is I can link this property to our slider over here. In order to do that, we need to know the name of the field itself. So if I hover over here and then you look in the bottom left corner of DaVinci Resolve, it says the name of this property is alpha divide 1.x slider. You could also pin the two nodes here and do some dragging and connecting. This is the method that works best for me. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to type in alpha divide 1.x slider. And again, at first nothing happens, but if I go back to this node, now I can change this slider and it will change the length. And this in itself is very powerful. If I wanted to, I could do the inverse over here. So I could click on my other rectangle, go to the X offset, hit equals, and then let's flip it. So I'm going to do negative alpha, oops, spelling is important, alpha divide 1.x slider. Boom. And with that, I've got this variable length that I can customize and change on the fly, which is awesome. So now there is one big problem, and this is what we're addressing in this video, is that I can't keyframe this. So let's say, I wanted to set this up as a template, and depending on the video that I'm working with, this length is going to vary depending on whatever infographic it's associated with. So let me take this back to 0.25. Let's say I wanted this to be the ending length of our bar graph. Well, again, I can't keyframe this because it's associated with our expression here. Here's what we got to do to fix that. What I want you to do is to remove this expression. I know we're going a little bit backwards, but just stay with me for now. For the purpose of this example, either of these rectangles is going to work. I want you to right click on the X offset. Now go to modify with and then Anim Curve. Now Anim Curves are really, really powerful tools inside DaVinci Resolve. And in essence, they allow you to animate things without keyframes. And what they also allow you to do is animate things based off of scales and offsets. Now the way it's currently set up is with a scale of 1, for the duration of our fusion composition, it's going to animate linearly from 0 to 1. That's what these sliders and properties all mean. What I can do is I can set an expression for the scale here and associate it with our slider. I think it was X slider. And now what it's going to do is it's going to go from 0 to whatever our slider value is over the duration of our animation. So it's going to go something like this. Now for the blue one, we want it to be negative. And again, from 0 to the end of our fusion composition, it's going to animate to whatever length our slider is. So if I were to go back to our slider and toggle the length here, you can see it's still going to be connected, which is so sweet. So now let me go ahead and set this up on our other rectangle real quick, and we get a little repetition in here. I'm going to remove the expression. I'm going to right click, modify with Anim Curve. Modifiers, source, duration. We can leave the curve alone for now, and we're just going to change the scale again to an expression, alpha divide 1.x slider. And we can change the length to be whatever we want. And if I hit play, these are going to animate out to the end of our clip. So a couple of follow-up questions that you might have when you're doing something like this is, for one, what if I don't want it to animate linearly? Well, what you can do is let's go to our right curve here. Go to the modifiers, and instead of curve, you can go to easing and use one of the preset easings. So we got sine, cubic, the standard ones, or you can go to custom, and this will give you a custom animation curve. And what you can do is actually pull this up in your spline menu down here and do some custom easing. So this will give us an ease out. So now if I play this, right, you can see the difference in spacing between the two here. It's going to be a little bit laggy for me because I'm recording, but now you can get some custom curves. And then the other question would be, okay, well, what if I don't want it to go all the way from beginning to end? Well, the solution to that is instead of going duration, what you're going to do is hit custom, and then you get a new input slider here, and the scale of this input slider goes from 0 to 1. 0 being the beginning of your animation curve and 1 being the very end. So let's say instead I want this to go from 0 to frame 90. What I can do is I can set a keyframe on frame 0 with an input value of 0, and then go to and then we can go to frame 90, set a new keyframe, but now we change our input value to 1. So now what's going to happen when I scrub forward is that we're going to get an ease out animation curve with the total length being based off of our slider over here, and it's going to stop on frame 90. So if I were to scrub forward, we got some pretty rapid acceleration at the beginning. We slow down at the end. And once it hits frame 90, it stops our animation. So if I were to play this again, boop. And again, what I can do if I wanted to is I can go to my alpha divide slider and I can bring this in, making this an extremely powerful tool for anybody in the motion graphics world or somebody wanting to create templates. Join the Discord if you have questions. There's a link in the description for a free month of Epidemic Sound, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.